When we're in the middle of multiple market-wide sell-offs with stocks, gold, bonds, crypto, and everything feels like it's down, it feels like there's nowhere to be able to put your money where you could earn a decent return. Even with the Federal Reserve raising the benchmark interest rate by 0.5% every month, we're still at only 0.6% interest rates on the high-yield savings accounts. But what if I told you there was a way to earn more than a 9% interest rate for at least the next 6 months on the extra cash you have lying around? Would you be interested? Probably, but you'd probably think there was a catch as well. And let me tell you, although it is risk-free, there are some caveats you need to know. So let's go deep into the I-Series savings bond. Yes, I said savings bonds. The I-Series savings bond is a bond just like any other, which means that you're lending your money to another institution, in this case the U.S. Treasury, and in return it will pay you an interest rate over a certain amount of time. The I-Series savings bond is a 30-year savings bond, but that doesn't mean you have to keep your money in it for 30 years. We'll talk about that later. The interest on the I-Series bond is calculated using a flat rate and then an adjustable rate in addition to that that's changed every 6 months depending on how bad inflation is. And currently in May of 2022, the interest rate is 9.62%. And while that number is incredibly exciting, it's important to remember that that is a record high for the I-Series bond. So in 6 months, in November, when it's adjusted again, it is potentially possible that it could be adjusted lower. But yes, between now and November, you'll be earning the equivalent of 9.62% on any money that you had in the I-Series bonds during that time. So this sounds amazing, but what are the caveats? What is the catch? First off, each person in a household can buy up to $10,000 in I-Series bonds per year and apply up to $5,000 of their tax refund towards additional I-Series bonds. Second, you need to remember that any money you put in the I-Series bond is not money that you can possibly access for a minimum of 1 year. That's right, your money will be locked up for at least 1 year, and if you close the bonds anytime between 1 year and 5 years, there is a penalty of the previous 3 months worth of interest. What that means is, let's say you keep the bonds for 1 year and you decide you need the money back, you'd only get 9 months of the previous interest, not the full 12, which is not a horrible penalty. You'd still get the money that you put in plus 9 months of interest on it. However, again, it's important to remember that this is not money that you would consider your emergency fund. This needs to be money that's lying around and isn't earmarked for any other activity for a minimum of 12 months and preferably 5 years. Additionally, if you have any credit card debt at all, you should pay down that credit card debt first and not buy any of the I-Series bonds. Even though 9.62% sounds like a great interest rate, the average interest rate on credit card debt in the United States right now is 16.58%. What that means is if you have the average interest rate or higher, you would be better served paying down that debt. In this case, you would be losing 6.96% less if you put extra money towards paying down the credit card debt instead of getting an I-Series bond, since the I-Series bond only has an interest rate of 9.62% and you would be paying 16.5% on your credit card debt. And once again, I must reiterate that you should not use money that you might need in the next 12 months. You need to pretend that this money is gone, because it basically is. For the next year, you wouldn't be able to access whatever you put towards the I-Series bonds. However, that being said, the minimum that you need to put in to buy any I-Series bond is just $25, and then you can buy anywhere from $25 up to $10,000 over the course of the calendar year. If you don't have a lot of spare cash lying around, you could just buy I-Series bonds in $25 increments until you reach that $10,000 cap. There's no reason to go all in unless you have that much extra cash lying around. On the flip side, if you're one of the lucky individuals who's particularly wealthy, a $10,000 max for the calendar year might not even be significant enough to waste your time. Another great thing about these I-Series bonds is you can buy them online at the website treasurydirect.gov, where I have links in my show notes that'll take you right to that website. Now, I must warn you, if you look at the website, it looks like it's straight out of 2001. This is not an up-to-date design, but because it is .gov, this is the United States Treasury Direct's website. It is not sketchy, even though it does look that way. To learn more about long-term investing, check out some of my other videos here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.